really talking about promotion. So what I'm going to do is have you go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Actually, not even too far. Go ahead and scroll up a little. Okay, number 5. You click on that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, suddenly it's not a website anymore.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
right click.
Yeah. So this is kind of a written out version. And I think there's some really important details in here. And I'm going to put, a lot of this was actually written by Helga, who is amazing at promoting stuff. But I want to talk about one thing. Occasionally with events, people will talk about marketing events. And I take a slightly different view. To me, marketing in part is kind of convincing people they want what you have. I think a lot of times that the strongest thing that we can do as stewards or anyone doing promotion in the SCA is more sales. And sales is about relationships and finding out what your customer wants and find a way to provide that to them. So that's sort of the thought process that I bring to this sort of thing. When you're looking at promotion in general, this is kind of a good overview. It gives a lot of the different ways that you can cover announcements. You can get stuff out with court announcements. You can go through and do things on social media. I am going to go ahead and plug. Sarah is running a event in August that is really designed as sort of a tech symposium, and I've seen the speakers for that. You've got folks coming in who are really excellent at all of these different areas. And if you want to learn more about how in detail to do the promotion, that would be a great one to attend. But this
It's
is sort of the
postponed a little bit.
view.
Elsie,
Is
sorry.
it postponed a little? Okay.
Just a little until just for my personal thing, but it'll come back, I promise.
Okay, so eventually there will be a really awesome thing to teach you how to use all of these tools in excruciating detail from folks with much more expertise than I have. But we're going to stay at the 10,000 foot level today. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little on the promotion. There are a couple of good points. I really do like the idea that when you're trying to get people to attend your event, do not, no matter how Irish your grandmother was, do not use guilt. Okay, my grandmother was a master of guilt, but you don't want to do that to get people there. You want to talk about how amazing things are. You want to provide them with content. You want to highlight the stuff that you're going to be doing that's fantastic, because ultimately we all do this because it's a hobby and most of us want to enjoy our hobbies. So the more we can focus in on promoting that enjoyment and letting folks know, you actually wind up with a really positive snowball effect. You might be able to get people to guilt people into attending an event or two, but what happens is we have retention problems when we fall back on that as our routine thing. So much better promoting the positive. So in terms of information and what you need to have, I am actually a big fan of partial information's okay. You do eventually have to get the whole information out there, and you can't do it at the last minute. You know, if you are doing a required pre-sale for an event, let's say you're doing a feast or a major war, I think it helps to have a schedule that you can send out. You need to have stuff planned and let folks know what it is you're trying to get them to buy in advance. 6 months out, it's okay to let people know, hey, we've got this site, we've got this place that we're going.
That's cute. On paper now. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
But before we get too much further, you actually have to have some details. You know, I am someone, because I travel a lot for work, I make my decisions about what events I'm going to 3 to 4 months out. And so if I have the information before then, it's going to increase the likelihood that I go to your event. I am not the only person who does things that way. Now, I can't only release information 3 to 4 months out. I have to come back at different time frames and go ahead and tell people again, including sometimes, you know, for those last minute folks who are just waking up, you know, I'll go out and do some promo posts the day of. I will do event announcements and make sure that everybody's on board. But each of, not only there's some generational trends in how you have to promote. There are some preference of your attendees trends, and you're going to get the best participation if you communicate with each person the way they want to be communicated with, and that includes time frame. I'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So one of the things that's important, you know, I think we've all gotten to the point, especially the last few years, right? We're living on social media. And there are things that work well on social media, short sound bites. You know, an hour-long class on something is not going to be something that's going to get a lot of traction on TikTok. But at some point, you need to have the information where people can find it. If you have an amazing reputation, maybe people will take the quality of your event on faith. But for the rest of us, it really helps us if we can go ahead and have something where people can find it. It can be as simple as publishing a schedule somewhere. It can be extra information that we put in the Kingdom calendar copy. I'm going to make a case for doing websites here towards the last part of the class with some stuff that Tira's helping out with. But having some splashy stuff that gives good, solid information is really important.